Hi, I'm Andy Durazo, and today I'm with Linda Callan, the chair of our art department. Uh, Linda, please tell me about our art department here at East Los Angeles College.
We have a fabulous art department. It's housed in a relatively new building. I think we've been there about 12 years, so the facilities are really extraordinary. The studios are large, and our storage spaces are huge. Ceramics has, I think it has 20 wheels and 5 gas kilns, 3 electric kilns. It's a fully stocked dry glaze room, multiple spray booths. It's a very large ceramics in particular, and we've had people come from other schools, very envious of us. And then we have our animation and graphic arts in another building, which at the time was brand new. But the animation program is also very strong. Our 2 full-time faculty are professionals. Mike Libinati works on projects with Disney, with Cartoon Network, Universal Fox, etc. He's done a lot of professional work and continues while he's teaching. Rosa Fade has a company. She and her husband have a Electric Shock animation company, and they were featured a couple of years ago on Ovation TV on a show called The Art of, and I know that's a successful company. She has worked on Batman Forever, Under Siege, Starship. She's worked on those as a visual effects technical director, but our animation students have been placed with Disney and I can't think of the name of the other major companies, animation companies, but they've been placed though with several animation companies as interns. And then a few of them have gotten hired because they interned. And so our students have done really well from in animation, in particular, a lot of them have gone on in animation, USC, Cal Arts, a couple other schools that have animation programs. Painting department, our students have gone. Again, we've sent students on to Chicago Art Institute, UCLA, Berkeley. They've gone to also graduated and gone on in the arts. And then they've come back and visited us. And we've had a few who've gone on, gotten their master's degree. We've had a couple who come back and taught as adjuncts. We have 3 painting classes offered all the time. We have figure drawing, 2 major figure drawing classes offered with figures with model at every class meeting. And then we have our art history program. We just started a couple years, well, we started about 10 years on this project, but it's now finally going, which is the Museum Studies certificate program through the art department. And we work with VPAM, the Vincent Price Museum of Art, and they helped us get a grant for the Museum Studies program. And that started out with our students doing a Smithsonian Institute internship. We've sent 3 or 4 students for the last 4 or 5 years now to the Smithsonian. It's now called the Washington, D.C. Internship program because we're including more museums other than just Smithsonian, although that would have been enough. But so from there, we then we wrote this certificate program, again with VPAM's help as well, and we got a grant for the program. And now I think there's 7 classes in the certificate program, which is like 21 units. One of those is also an internship which if they get the Smithsonian, that applies to the Museum Studies program. Otherwise, every spring, we match them up with a museum. We have partners now with all the museums in Los Angeles, including Santa Barbara Museum of Art. So we don't have the Broad yet, I take it back. But we have almost all the rest. And so we can place our students with them for the semester they get. So that's fantastic. And also, we're the only community college in Los Angeles, and pretty much, I really want to say almost anywhere that has this program, so Museum Studies program. Most programs, most colleges and universities have this program in their graduate program. It's hard to find a university that has an undergraduate degree in museum studies. They may have a certificate, they may have a minor. UC Santa Barbara has a minor, for instance. San Francisco State and University of San Francisco have a minor. However, this certificate really will help if you're interested in museum work or gallery work. Even if you're not, though, and you just enjoyed the program, it's going to help a lot in terms of transferring to a university, because it shows commitment and it shows you have this interest. And the graduate program is available in a lot of different places. The other thing about this program is that actually there's a couple of positions, entry-level positions that a student can get from this program. So we're very excited about it. In fact, I just came from a meeting about this program. So it's in its second year, that program. And we also we teach design. We have 2D design, 3D design, and advanced 3D design. So we have design, painting, drawing, figure drawing, ceramics, graphic arts, and animation, art history, and museum studies certificate program.
Wow,
So,
that sounds great.
yeah.
What are the income ranges for some of these positions?
The income ranges, it varies. For the art students, it's a funny question which comes up all the time, because parents are terrified of the idea of an art degree. But in actuality, I think we all think of the starving artist, which might have been romantic for a while. Nobody finds this romantic anymore. But in actuality, a degree in the visual arts have many. I'm going to get to your question. I realize I'm not answering your question exactly, but there are so many jobs that look for art degrees, and much more so than, say, and I'm not putting down English or sociology, but it is funny that a parent will be much more comfortable with a degree in anthropology or sociology or psychology or English, where the jobs are in the arts and entertainment, not just in Los Angeles, but certainly in Los Angeles. So in terms of entry-level jobs, for our visual arts students, there's a million things that they can move into, but in terms of the entertainment sector rather, it's hard to give an entry-level job, but I would say in the 60,000 a year range, probably. Animation, I wish I knew that. Animation, I think the last I heard when this came up is it's also, for animation, it's more projects. So you work on a project, right? And then you go to the next project, right? But I think the entry level, again, is around 50 to 60. Museums, surprisingly enough, some areas where I think people assume we make a lot of money. We don't. And for instance, museum does not, those workers do not make a lot of money. Their entry level, I think, is 40,000 or 45. Of course, you're working with like-minded, fantastic, artistic people, and everybody loves working at museums. Of course, the range goes up, but that's a surprise to most people. I was surprised, even museum directors. So that's pretty much the price range,
Well,
the range. Mhm.
wow, that is odd. I would thought a
Yeah,
museum director would or curator would be way up there.
right.
Yeah,
We all do, right?
wow,
And
that's quite amazing.
it is
Um,
very amazing. Yeah. Hmm.
so art is not like what we like you said, the starving artist. Nowadays, the sculptor might not be someone that's making busts, but making something for a movie set.
Exactly.
And painters aren't just doing portraits or landscapes or anything like that. They could also be doing set painting and
Exactly.
it's things like that for the motion picture industry.
They can
Uh,
be hired also to design the interior of, let's say, Tesla's corporate headquarters. They can be hired to do, yeah, just designing, picking out color experts, in entertainment, in auto industry. I mean, there's just so much. Yeah.
so that's great to know because, like you were talking about, a lot of people think of that starving artist. They think of just the
Hmm.
Van Gogh in his
Right.
room painting his life away
Exactly. And
and
they eat,
suffering.
right,
But
one hard-boiled egg a day, and it doesn't, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Instead, there are really jobs in various industries now.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
like you're saying, automotive,
Oh, yeah,
uh,
yeah, restaurant,
corporate
ho
design, restaurant
yeah,
design.
hotel.
Okay, so
Mhm.
wow, that's pretty good.
Especially in California, especially in Los Angeles, in particular. And then I'm not even counting education, the whole field of education, which people can go into also. Mhm.
Oh yeah, it's the education side, the history side, like you
Absolutely.
talked about the museum,
Mhm. Mhm.
as well as the actual artist is doing the art themselves.
Yes, exactly.
So that's quite eye opening.
Yeah, I know. I hope parents are listening to this.
I hope so too, because they're the ones usually paying for our children's
Right,
education.
right, exactly, exactly. Mhm.
Wow. Okay. Well, I have one final question.
Okay.
And basically, it's what makes East Los Angeles College's art department special?
I think it's faculty first, and then it is facilities. You have to have a good faculty that's committed, and then you have to have facilities. And we have both. So our faculty is incredibly committed. We work with students one-on-one, but we also spend a lot of time with them. And partly because it's a community college and students, they go back to work and then maybe they come back, or they have to drop out for this reason and then they come back. We work with them for a long time, so we really know them, and we can help them, because we know them. We can write really good recommendations, and we can speak to our own colleagues at universities and the state colleges, and actually help them get into these schools. Just because of knowing them so well, having connections. Art history and animation both have connections, and that's what it's all about. So I would say that's the most important thing. We have unbelievably fantastic facilities, and we have an unbelievable faculty, very dedicated, extremely dedicated. Mhm.
Well, thank you, Linda, for talking about your art department, or I should say, our art department. And I hope that students will come and visit and join us up. Thank you again.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. And I just want to add one more thing. Our faculty is very friendly. And so anybody can come, and we're happy to talk to students, potential or current.
That's great. Thanks again.
Thank you.